Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is what I've got going on. I have got this Christmas tree that I made, and I have to finish doing my bows. I haven't finished doing my bows, but I did little pom-pom on top. And I had these little beads, these little colorful beads. I know they're probably really hard to see because there's just these little tiny beads, and I just glued them to the tree. And then I just took some red yarn and did my little bows. So this one is green. I don't know the color that I used. It was just some yarn that I used last year. I didn't have the tag for it anymore, but these are chains, a whole sequence of chains, and it is on a cone. So it's super duper adorable, and that's what we're doing today. So this is the cone I used. It is a number 9 cone from Michaels. That is the measurement of the cone. Sorry, I get the centimeters in there too. That's the measurement of the cone. This is, it's hard to find the camera. And that is the cone label. It is a number 9 cone, and that's what we're going to use today. The only difference is, now these come in green and white. Not that you'll see, the cone I used for this is white, and you can't see through it. Because you got to use the right size, you got to use the right yarn, and you got to use the right hook. So anyway, whatever yarn you're using, make sure it's thicker or it's worsted so that you don't see the cone through it. And use the hook that's associated with your yarn. You don't have to use the hook that I'm using, just use the hook associated with your yarn. So, we don't need this right now. I'll set that aside. I'm using white for my tree because I already have a green one, so now I'm going to make a white one. So I grabbed this Red Heart white because it is on the thicker side and it is really soft, and I absolutely love this yarn. I am not a fan of Red Heart, but this stuff is actually better than the stuff that comes in the great big giant balls. So I got 2 7-ounce balls. I'm only going to probably need 1 of these balls to make this Christmas tree. I don't need to have 2. I just bought 2 because I love the yarn and I needed white. So it's just white. There's no special color. It's just white. It calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook, and I'm going to use a 5 just because I like I'm a loose crocheter. So I don't quite follow the hook sizes just because I'm a loose crocheter. So without further ado, I'm going to change my mat so that you can see my stuff better. So get your stuff together and I will see you in a second. So I'm using red because, you know, it's Christmassy. You should be able to see my white pretty good. So we start with a magic ring of 6 single crochets. You will need some brown because we're going to do a little stump on the bottom. So this is built in amigurumi. So you will need a stitch marker. So because it's amigurumi, there's no slip stitching, there's no chaining. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So after the first stitch, that's where our marker gets put in. and then we put our second stitch in here. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around will give you 12 stitches. So now that you have 12 stitches, for the next 2 rows you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of these 12 stitches. So that's my 12 stitches for 2 rows. So this straggler from our magic ring, I'm going to tie it in a knot so that my magic ring doesn't keep opening. It probably won't, but I'm just tying it in a knot and cutting it off. It gets in my way and I don't like it. So, moving on, this is what your 2 rows of 12 single crochets should look like. Our next round is going to be 1 single crochet and an increase. That's 1 single crochet and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. This will give you 18 stitches. So your next round is going to be done in the back loops only. So these are your back loops, and these are your front loops. So in the back loops only, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I don't try to get my hook into the stitch. I just take this finger and I push it on. It's way easier, but you'll find your mojo. You'll figure out an easy way for yourself to do it if you struggle with it. Eventually it'll work out for you. So you should have 18 stitches, nothing changes, 1 single crochet in each stitch round. Back loops only. So now that I'm back around, I'm going to be using the front loops. I move my marker. Actually, I don't technically have to move my marker. So I'm going to be using the front loops that I just created from the row before. So they're way down here. And that's what I'm going to go into for my next round. So I'm not going into here. These would be the stitches from the for the next round. So the round that I'm going to, these would be the stitches. But I'm going to pop down here and I'm going to grab the front loops. So technically I don't need to take my marker out. So go into your first front loop. And in this front loop you're going to do a single crochet. You're going to chain 3. And you're going to put another single crochet in there. You're going to chain 3 and 1 more single crochet. And that's what you're going to do in every other stitch. So skip this next one, go into this one, do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all in the same front loop. Skip one, go into the next one, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all the way around. So I'm on my very last front loop. So I've gone in and done my 1 single crochet. I'm going to chain 3, 1 single crochet, chain 3. PDF users, you'll see it written as in brackets 1 single crochet, chain 3 2 times, and then 1 single crochet, and that's what that means. The reason it's in brackets is because brackets mean same space. So once you're back around, now you're going, where the heck do I go? Well, you're going to roll it over here. And in this stitch here, that's where you're going to start again. It's in your marker spot. So your next round is going to be 2 single crochets and an increase. Just starting in that marker spot. That's number 1. Now we're in the row we should have been in before. That's number 1. That's number 2. And then the next stitch gets the increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. This will bring it up to 24 stitches. So it looks a little strange when you come back around. That's 1, 2. Now this stitch got a little twisted from before. So just do your best to just stick it in that space. There are 2. It's twisted because we went like that. That's why. Because we brought this over to here to start. So that got a little twisted, and that's where you're going to put your your increase. So that's what it should look like. So this gets twisted around like this. Your stitch is in there. It's just going to be hard to find. And if you can't find it, just stick stitches in somewhere. If you can't find your stitch, it's no big deal. So this is the beginning of our tree. So your next round is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. You still have 24 stitches. So your next round is going to be the same thing, but it's going to be done in the back loops only, because we're going to come back around and use those front loops again for our next bunch of branches. So 24 stitches, back loops only. So once again, leave your marker in there because we're going down to work in the front loops that we just made by going into the back loops. So find your front loops. You're going to go into your front loop, do 1 single crochet, and now this one you're going to chain 5. Then you're going to do your 1 single crochet, chain 5, and then 1 single crochet. You're going to skip 1 and repeat that. So I'm on my last front loop. So your next round is going to be 3 single crochets and an increase, and this brings you up to 30 stitches. That's 3 single crochets, sorry. 3 single crochets and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. So I'm on my last bit of my sequence, and we got this twisted stitch, so that's my 3, and then you kind of gotta pull it out of down in there. It kind of sinks down a little bit. Do your 2 single crochets in the same space. So that's what it looks like so far. And then it gets bushier and bushier and bushier as we go. So your next round is just going to be 1 single crochet in each of these 30 stitches. So your next round is going to be done in the back loops only. So your next round done in the front loops is going to be 1 single crochet, chain 7, one single crochet, chain 7, one single crochet. Skip 1, do it again. So repeat that all the way around. So this is what you should have. For the next 2 rows, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each of these 30 stitches. And I will see you on the other side. So that's my 2 rows. So your next round is going to be in the back loops. And then we'll make more tree branches. So your next round in your front loops is going to be 1 single crochet, chain 9, 1 single crochet, twice. I love when you have these little knots in your yarn balls. So your next round, we're going to increase again. So your next round is going to be 4 single crochets and an increase. And this will bring it up to 36 stitches. That's number 1. That's 4 single crochets and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. So your next round is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 36 stitches. And then you're going to do your back loops. I'm going to put both of those on my pause screen and I will see you on the other side. So that's my 1 single crochet and then my back loop. So I have all my front loops exposed, and I'm sure you get the pattern by now that we're going up by 2s every time. So the last one was chain 9. This one's going to be chain 11. They're all odd numbers. So into your back loop, 1 single crochet, chain 11. One single crochet, chain 11. And 1 single crochet. And repeat. Skip 1. So, this is what you should have. For the next 2 rows, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch, 36 stitches, because we don't need to increase it for the cone. And then you're going to do your back loops, and then that'll be the end of the chapter. I will meet you back here. I'll put all this up on my screen. And I will meet you back here for chapter 2, where we're going to be starting round 26. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're starting chapter 2 and we're starting on our front loops. So we're just going to jump right into this. Oh, I don't need to take that out. Leave your marker in, sorry. So for your front loops on this round, we're going to do a chain 13. So we're going to do one single crochet, chain 13. One single crochet, chain 13. One single crochet, all in the same front loop. Skip one and repeat. So I'm all the way back around, and my next row is going to be 5 single crochets and an increase. And this will bring it up to 42 stitches. That's number 1. That's 5 single crochets, and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. Next round is going to be 1 single crochet in each of these 42 stitches. And then your next round after this will be in the back loops. I'll put that up on my screen and I will see you on the other side. So for this round, we're only going to chain 17, by the way. This round is going to be chain 15 in the front loops. So single crochet, chain 15. Single crochet, chain 15. Single crochet, all in the same front loop. Skip one, repeat. So this is what you should have. You're probably thinking, how does this fit the cone? It does fit the cone. It stretches out over the cone. So we're just about done. So your next round, the next 2 rounds are going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch for 42 stitches. And then you're going to follow that up with a back loop only round. We're not increasing anymore because this is about as wide as we need it. So I will put all 3 rows up on my pause screen and I will see you on the other side. So this is what you should have at this point. We're doing our last row of chains. And this time we're going to do chain 17. So, 1 single crochet, chain 17. One single crochet, chain 17. And 1 single crochet. Skip one and repeat. So, this is what you should have. It looks short for your cone, but trust me, it'll fit your cone. I know I said that last time, but trust me. So, for the next 2 rows, we're not increasing, we're just staying. For the next 2 rows, you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of these 42 stitches, and then we're going to go to brown. So we're not doing any more tree branches. So I'm at the end of my second row. It's my last stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to finish that stitch with my brown. So I'm going to tie my white and my brown stragglers together. I keep my hook in there so I know how tight to make it. And then I can just cut this off. We're not going back to our white. So this whole Christmas tree, so I started it with, I'm going to show you. I started this tree with a new ball, and that's about as much as I've used. So it's pretty good for the size of the tree that you end up getting. It's pretty good. So we just can get rid of our white, and first row of our brown is just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch for 42 stitches. We finished this tree. We finished with the brown with the tree on the cone. So you can put this tree on your cone anytime you want to. I'm going to do it after this row, I think. Your next round is going to be done in the back loops only. And then we're going to put it on our cone and finish it with decreases. So back loops only, 1 single crochet in each of these 42 stitches. So I am at my last stitch before my decreases. So I'm going to put my cone in. So you'll notice this sticks to the cone. So just make sure my top is where it should be. And then you just pull down. So I just got to keep stretching it until it's all the way down so it's got a nice fit. So this back loop is what's going to take it from here to there. That's the point of it. So, and then you've got the spaces in between to put your Christmas lights or balls or whatever you're gonna do with it, so it's not so crowded. So we start decreasing now with our cone in. So you're going to do a 5 single crochet decrease, and this will bring you down to 36 stitches. Gets easier the next round. So your next round after this will be just 1 single crochet in each of the 36 stitches. But all that'll be on my pause screen. So that's number 1. So your next round, you're going to start noticing it close this way. It's going to be 4 single crochets and a decrease, and this will bring you down to 30 stitches. So that's number 1. That is 4 single crochets. And again, it doesn't matter what decrease you do, just do a decrease and repeat. So your next round is going to be 3 single crochets and a decrease. And this will bring you down to 24 stitches. Oh, I almost knocked my coffee over. That's number 1. That's 2 and 3, and then your decrease. So your next round is going to be 2 single crochets and a decrease, and this will bring you down to 18 stitches. That's number 1. That's number 2, and then your decrease. And your last round is going to be 1 single crochet and a decrease. This brings you down to 12 stitches, and then we can fasten off. That's 1 single crochet with your marker, and then your decrease. So we can go into our next stitch. We can fasten off. So we need a weaving tail. That's about it. Well, cinching and weaving. And then we can reposition everything that we pulled down. So you're going to go into the front loops. You're going to go in the front loop and out the front loop. In the front loop, out the front loop. And then you can pull. So, now we can just pull everything down this way. And then you can to make your knot. So pop across the hole. This is our cinch hole. So pop across that. Go through your loop. And then do it in the other direction if you feel like it. You don't need to. It's just my thing. So, once you're satisfied, this is where you can just kind of weave, but it's not hugely necessary. So, just pull this back down. Put your tree back into shape. So that's about as much as the trunk that shows. Actually, when it's sitting down, as you can see with your own piece, not much shows. Through the white it does, not really much through the green. So now we just decorate it. So you can decorate your Christmas tree any way you want. I think I'm going to do some of these buttons. I'm going to put them in the video. I got them on Amazon. I'll show you what they are. But keep in mind, I'm Canadian, so the dollars that you see are going to be Canadian dollars. They'll be cheaper for you then. So they're all like little hearts and snowflakes, and there's a stocking in there, and there's all kinds of things in there. Little Christmas, they're buttons, but I'm going to use them. And I'm going to use some of this red ribbon. I just got this ribbon at the dollar store. But you can buy ribbon anywhere. This is silk ribbon. If I can get into it. It comes in a whole package of all these different colors, so but there's also ribbon that I bought on Amazon that I used on my Mrs. Claus. So I'll put those up too and show you the ribbon because it's really cute. And it's it's like paper ribbon. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I am probably going to glue it and maybe twist it. Maybe give it a couple of twists. And then glue into shape. So, I don't hot glue, but I'm sure you can. I shouldn't say I don't hot glue. I do hot glue, but I'm not going to hot glue because it is a foam thing and I don't really want anything happening to it. So I think I'm just going to twist and just kind of go with it. So, it's not the greatest job in the world. There's a start. And look at these cute little stockings. That is adorable. Not sure they're going to quite fit on here anywhere. But I might be able to use these little snowflakes here and there. We'll put the bigger things in here. And then the snowflakes, I think the snowflakes I will just put right on wherever. So because these are buttons, you can stick pins in them too to hold them in place while they dry, because they have holes. But for the most part, my little snowflakes are just going on the ends here. I got these little white snowflakes. If you're doing a green tree, they come with little white snowflakes too. But I'm not doing a green tree. I already did my green tree. So let's do the pom-pom for the top if that's what you're doing. I also have all these tiny little beads too that I could have used. I don't remember where I got them. I'm going to say Amazon. So, lots of different ways to decorate your Christmas tree. So, the pom-pom. So, do your pom-pom. You're going to need some big scissors and some yarn. This is Craft Smart Tomato. It's my favorite red. So, you're going to spread your fingers open and you're going to wrap. I have pom-pom makers, but I actually think my pom-poms turn out better when I do it this way. Honestly, it's a lot less work too. But I do have pom-pom makers. So if you have one of those, then make a small pom-pom. If you have them and you don't like using them like I do, then we're going to do this. So, the idea to get a fuzzy pom-pom is to make it really big. To make it big, not really big, but to make it big, and then keep cutting to make it fuzzy. That's how you make it fuzzy. You keep cutting. So, that's my pom-pom. So you need a piece to make your little tie. So you're going to take your pom-pom and lay it this way. Oh, my tie might be a little short. So you're going to tie, make sure you're in the middle. Super duper tight. This is the hard part. Making sure you're getting it as tight as you need it. And then, try not to cut your stragglers. I glued mine on, so it doesn't really matter if you do actually cut your stragglers. You're going to go through all of this. You're probably not going to get all your loops, but you're going to go through all of that, and you're going to cut your loops. And then just make sure you're getting all your loops, because you're not going to get them on one pass. And then we do the other side. Stick our scissors in there. Cut our loops. So So once your loops are cut, I'm going to end up making a huge mess. This is where you start to trim. So you cut and you cut and you cut. Use my knife to stick everything down in there. So the idea is to trim it, and the more you cut it, the fuzzier it gets. So you're going to cut this great big pom-pom down. Till it's the size you want and the fuzzy that you want. And then just glue it to the top of your tree. So I have my fuzzy little ball right here. It's actually bigger than my last one. And all I did was glue it. This glue is better than fabric glue, so if you're planning on using fabric glue, then I would advise against it because it will not stick. If you're doing this at all. Again, not something you need to do. So that's how I've decorated my little Christmas tree. I absolutely think it's adorable. I still gotta finish decorating my other tree. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you in the next video.